everybody, and welcome back to the Alright Podcast. Remember, it's not the best podcast, but it's not the worst podcast. It's just an Alright podcast. Literally every guest I have on that new way, I go Alright Podcast, and then they go Alright Podcast. Like literally everybody's doing it. You're in with the trend, you are. But before
I started the trend.
Excuse me, did I mention your name yet? Missy breaking rules already? God. Anyway. Before I introduce this guest, I need to give a bit of a background. She is the girl that was the first ever person to reach out to me while I made YouTube videos and told me how good I was. Without her, I probably wouldn't have made YouTube videos for that longer, to be honest. Me and Bobby talk about it in his interview with me. Also, she is also an actress. She is also she's in Ireland right now. But currently she's in Ireland, but she is studying in Edinburgh to be an actor. So I can't say actress. And I know you're getting angry, and I know you're going to be mad, and I know when I tell you to start talking, you're going to give it to me. You're literally going to say, you fucking bad. But anyway, and yeah, and she's a model, and she's a script writer, and she wants to be a director. She wants to do everything, people. She has it all. She has it all, okay? So, guys, without further ado, for episode 42. Oh my god, that rhymed. Yes, I am a little rapper now. It is again the guest, Rebecca Flynn. Hello, Rebecca.
Hi, how's it going?
Yeah, lovely. We done a podcast in my house. Did we do it? Was the first time on audio? Like remember we were in my room and was that on video or audio?
That was they were both on audio because both of them didn't work.
They didn't work. So this is the first time on this channel, because this is Rebecca's third time on the channel. This is your third time, this is your first time now video. This is people can see you. So there you go. So Rebecca, I want to ask for the people that don't know you, give a bit of a background about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Rebecca, and I am an actor and model, and I'm also a YouTuber, and I'm writing scripts and wanting to direct stuff as well. And recently, I'm starting a autism awareness series on my YouTube channel. So yeah.
Yeah, that's why that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. You released episode 1, and I watched it. I watched it that morning in bed when you put it up. Hey, get away from that dog! Sorry, my dog is near my chocolate wrappers, and they're not allowed near them. Yeah, but anyway, you're doing that. Please, tell for the people that don't know, why you started doing this. What's the reason behind it? For myself as well.
Well, the reason I started it is because, well, one, April is Autism Awareness Month, and two, people say, "Oh, I know about autism. I know about it," and they actually don't. And it's the same thing with like, "Oh, I have a bit of autism in me," which you don't. Don't self-diagnose yourself, which I will be talking about in many other videos.
Yeah. So, because when you said you were going to start doing that, because we have a group chat, so when you said you were going to start doing that, I was like, that's a good idea, because for the likes of your YouTube channel, you put up sketches, you put up stuff, but there's nothing on it that's like, you like doing different stuff. So to see this actual kind of structure saying, like, this is going to be like a mini series that it's one topic and I'm going to talk about this, and it's something that you're passionate about. So to actually see that, I was real interested in seeing where that went. And the first episode, I enjoy it. If I didn't, Rebecca, you know the two of us by now, like, I'm like, not really. Yeah. But no, I actually did enjoy it. And for the reason why I want to watch it is because what you just said, people think they know about autism, and they think they know the signs and stuff like that as well. And in our last podcast, we talked a lot about autism as well. You literally learned, you taught me a bit more about it, and we kind of got to a stage in the last podcast where I was like, was that time you done this? I remember we copped on and was like, all right, I did. We kind of I realized then and there we caught it on the podcast, and I thought that was real interesting. But for the likes of your podcast, and so do you find that being in quarantine, because I'm asking everybody this that comes on, because it is a topic that everybody has to talk about now. It is I don't like saying it's a popular topic, but it is. You get me? It's a topic that
Mm.
everybody talks about on any podcast. So for the likes of you, and you're creative as well. So with your creativity, what are you doing during these quarantine times to be creative and stay creative?
Well, I'm as like there's nothing really you can really do.
Hmm.
So I'm drawing a lot. Um, again, which I find super relaxing. Which is good. And then I'm also writing different scripts, and I'm also researching I'm researching two featured films that I'm going to do now. But yeah, I'm just doing script writing, and then I'm also drawing, and then just trying to not go mad, as we
Yeah,
all are.
yeah. I think that's good though. I'm the complete opposite in this. I thought because I have all this time on my hands that I'd be able to sit down and write a script. I haven't touched a script since all this started. I didn't try to write, and before all this started, I was writing a feature film called Daydreamer about two addicts that are trying to get clean, and it's all based in Dublin City enough. And you are literally there's a part I'm writing for you because when I make short films or anything, Rebecca's like, put a woman part in it, put a woman. And I'm like, I fucking will one day. And she's like, yeah, do it now. There's a woman part in it that's written for you for that.
Oh,
Do you get
really?
me? Yeah, so I'm writing you into it for the likes of that. But yeah, so for the likes of quarantine, I do want to ask you, um, you were in Edinburgh and you were studying in Edinburgh and you had to come back. It was
Mhm.
like an emergency that you had to come back, and not because of anything. It's just the fact that you might not been able to get a flight back if you
Yeah.
stayed over there. And when you realized that, what was your thoughts like? Was it scary? Was it kind of like, okay, I need to stay calm? What was your thoughts for that when you knew you had to come back?
Well, I mean, it's kind of a thing, with my whole, perspective on this whole pandemic was, I was always calm with it. But the only reason I got more anxious about it now is because everybody keeps talking about it, and it's like the more people talk about it, the more you get anxious about it, even though, and then like if you have someone then who gets COVID-19. But when that going back to your question, because I always go on a tangent on every
It's all
single
right.
video.
It's okay. It's all right. I do that as well. Go on.
But I mean, Irish people do that every single day. Let's be honest. But yeah. So going back to your question, when this happened, I was kind of saying, okay, what am I going to do? Because I didn't know if I was going to get a flight home, because I didn't know if they were going to close the borders. Um, I didn't, I thought that I was going to be in that tiny apartment, and you've seen that my room.
I did.
Like
It is. It's good for like it's nice for a one person, but like anymore. But yeah, again, even at that, it is small. Like to get me for. So imagine being cooped up in there like every day.
you'd go absolutely mental. um, so I mean, I'm happy to be home and to be able to like have my mum to talk to, but like at the same time, I still miss Edinburgh and my
Yeah,
friends.
yeah. Because we wanted to. There was one thing that I was looking forward to this year, and you're probably going to go, oh, for fuck's sake, but it was Teo Park, and we were all supposed to go to Teo Park, and we didn't end up going. But also that we haven't seen you since October, like November,
Yeah.
the first week of November, so we haven't seen you of ages, like face to face, in the flesh, as people would say. But um you were supposed to come up and stay over for a weekend, like Friday to Sunday, and James and Sarah were supposed to come up. We were all supposed to have a nice weekend together, and
Yeah.
because of this virus, it's ruining it. And to be honest, when I found out that we all couldn't get together, I was a bit sad. Like it kind of did kind of bum me down. I was like, oh, this is shit, man, because I was looking forward to it. I really was. Even though we're all a bunch of gobshites and a little small granny flat. but we all entertain each other. Do you get me? We all have
Yeah.
respect for each other, you know. It's nothing but love in the granny flat, and not the kind of love, yeah, you dirty bastards. But anyway, yeah, but for the likes of that, when you had to come back over here, what for you? I want to ask before we move on to a different one, a different segment or so. What is your prediction? When do you think this is going to end?
I don't think it ever will end. I think restrictions that we have now will slowly go back to like more like you can, because now we're in a 2 kilometer radius, but like that will then I think go into much longer, so you can go into a much longer distance. Um, so I think that restrictions will lay off slowly, but I don't think it will end till maybe like a year or two, depending if we get a vaccine or not. And even at then, you can still, like, illnesses or viruses can still come back and bite you in the ass. So it kind of, I don't know, I don't know like the prediction of it, but like I think like it's never going to go back to normal, but I think it will. I think it might go semi uh, normal in around July, August.
Oh, right. So yeah, I think you're right. There's a lot of people. I did ask the same question to a lot of people, and they did say that it's not going to be the same. And I agree with you 100%, because after this, the way we see things, we're going to take more. Well, us as people, I don't know about the government or not, but us as people, we're going to take a more strict precaution when it comes to people. A lot more people are going to moisturize. But do you know what did say? What did I say? Moisturize? Oh my god. Um, do you know what I did say that I actually like? Um, I know it's bad, and I shouldn't say I like it, but there's a lot more people out doing the exercise. There's a lot more joggers, and then people are like, there's so many people exercising during this, and then I'm going, yeah, but usually I'd say all them people that are exercising now have a gym to go to. That's why you don't see many people are exercising, but because the gyms are closed, that's the reason why you're seeing so much more exercise. But I think it's just the same. I think it's just the same people that was always doing it. But there is a lot of people that did pick up exercising because they needed to do that, because they needed to get out of their house. And do you go on walks? Do you go on walks on your own?
Um, I've gone on walks recently, but I have been going on runs. Like I've been running every day, and it's just been hard because like where I live is full on hills. So, um, but yeah, I mean, I think it's really important to at least get out of your house once a day, or you will go mad. Um, Even if it's just a walk or bringing your dog for a walk or sitting outside, because it has been like really, really nice out the past couple of days.
Yeah, like literally, I'm shocked that throughout all, there's loads of memes about and everything. This time last year was snow and it was whatever, and now because we're all in, it's like Mother Nature is literally it has came back, and restored what should be. I saw on Facebook in Italy there was jellyfish swimming through. Do you know where they all catch the fish? And like usually
Mm,
there's no fish or anything. There's jellyfish swimming to it now. They're swimming, but and like people are like stunned because of like we never see jellyfish around here. Like so, probably because he's
yeah.
like killing them all. But
But
yeah,
there's more birds out now as well because there's not a lot of like airplanes flying except for in America. Like it's there's full on in New York at the moment. Like that's just going flying all over the
yeah,
place. But around here, there's barely any. So there's so much birds around.
yeah. It's I seen that there's a lot more. Yeah, it's like the planet is messed up and it's trying to I know this is weird to say, but it's like it's trying to fix itself. It's trying to restore itself. because that's what nature does. If there's a problem, it shifts. The earth and the universe itself, it shifts itself to work with itself. It doesn't work against it, it works with it, and you've no choice but to go with it. And
Yeah.
this is a perfect example because we're all stuck inside while Mother Nature is trying to fix itself. The air pollutions they were saying in where is it? There's they can see the mountains from somewhere. It's in a country. I honestly don't know. I don't want to mess it up. But it's in some kind of country, and because of the air pollution, they couldn't
Mhm.
see anything. And because it's all clear now, they can see the mountains and the Himalayas. I think it's the
Okay.
Himalayas. I think it is. I think it's that, right? Don't correct me if I'm
I
wrong,
don't.
people.
I don't know.
Oh no,
So
it's just for people out there because there's probably someone going. Actually, it's this and that. It's like, all right, Ned, shut up. No one cares. Yeah, but it's good, and I think you're right. I think by July, August, that this thing we won't go back to normal, but a lot of people. You'll see a lot of people more out. I think
yeah,
you're right. I think you're right. And they say that concerts aren't coming back till next spring. Do you think that's? Do you believe that, or do you?
I think. I mean, they said this the whole thing about mass gatherings that it's not going to probably happen till 2021, and I think they're. I mean, I can understand why, um, because it kind of needs to go into smaller mass gatherings before it can go into bigger to see um how it affects those people. So like just say when like restaurants will be open soon, or hairdressers I think will be open in about a month or something. Um that I think they're wanting to see how that is before they do like a full on, like just say down in Slane or Reading, or I
Did you
think
see
that's what they're.
Sweden? Did you see Sweden?
No, I haven't,
They're
but
not.
I know.
They did not go into lockdown. Everybody's out. All the restaurants are open. Everything's open, and they're waiting to see how their tactic is because a lot of people are saying um, that Sweden did not do a lockdown. They're going on their day. They're doing like just literally before the lockdown. Before all this happened, they're still continuing on like it before it happened, and all the restaurants are open. People are gathering in big places, and I'm not sure. I forget the numbers, but they're gonna see um if it works or not, because
Yeah,
a few years from now, not a few years from now, yeah, but I'd say about 10 years from now or so, they're gonna, like the 10th anniversary of the virus. That's gonna be it. Like, think about it, Rebecca. We are in history right now. Like when the
oh yeah,
when
we
the
totally
span
are.
when the Spanish flu hit in 1819, I think it was 1819, and it lasted till 1821.
Yeah,
And December it lasts till in December of 1921 or 1821, and that's down in history. So think about it, we are in literally history books right now. That's We're going to be in history books, even if they don't talk about us in general. At least we know that when they talk about them times, we were in them times. It's
yeah,
crazy, isn't it?
exactly.
I didn't
Yeah,
think. Yeah, yeah, go on.
it's gonna be mad, and like I mean, the only reason why I think the only reason it won't go back to semi-normal in um July and August, if people are still going out and meeting people, that's just what I think. That because I mean that's the only thing that I'm angry about, is like even when you said about that you were sad that we couldn't all meet up, like I was really sad about it, and like I'm still sad about that, but the fact that you get really angry because we are self-isolating, but there's still like people who are going out and seeing each other, and that's when that's actually why we're still we have 3 weeks. That's why.
Yeah, I swear you literally got the hammer and got the nail and you went boom and you hit it right the first time. I said this to Nicola, I said this to a few people as well. People like us that are following the rules, and then people that are not following the rules. The reason why we could still be in this fucking lockdown is because of them people, because of these group
Yep.
of teenagers that the man does don't fucking grab them by the head or whatever and bring them in and say stay in. They see
Yep.
all the teenagers and then they're mugging people and everything and all robbing cars. They do that anyway down where I used to live, but they're doing it more now. The rates are going up. There's more crime. There was gunshots in down the road. Not from me, but like in the next like Palmerstown, Ballyfermot, there was gunshots, people shooting other people on, and it's just the crime rate. And I think people are going to get sick of it. I think it's going to get to a point where people go, fuck this, they're not following the rules, I'm not living like this anymore, and everybody's just going to live, and we're going to wear masks or whatever, we're going to have to, but for the likes of that, yeah, I totally agree with you with that. I agree.
See, I just don't think it's gonna, if people stop doing it, then I could see definitely a change. But if people are gonna still undo that, we're probably gonna be till probably December.
Yeah, that's going to be sad. I don't want to do that. Like the only places I go right is my house or my mom and dad's house. Now I know that you're not supposed to meet people that in groups and all, but that's the only two places I go, and then the shops to get food. That's it. So my mom and dad don't go out anywhere. Usually I go over and get shopping, or my mom will go over with my dad and do shopping, and they'll wear the gloves and everything, and also they are keeping safe. And I'd like to say I am as well. If it wasn't for Nicola, I probably wouldn't wear gloves and I wouldn't wear yoga. I'd be stupid. So she's making me wear all that, and she's right when I should be wearing all that. But I do want to move on to the next segment. And I know we're moving off segment, but guys, it is ready. Here it is again. It's ghost stories. Ooh, scary. Rebecca, I have two questions for you. One, do you believe in the paranormal activities? Two, if yes or no, or whatever so, do you have a story you can tell?
Okay, so before this happened, I do have a story.
Oh, yes! I love when
I think
people
I
say
told you this already, but I'll tell it again.
that's sure we can say it.
um, but before this, I did not believe in any sort of thing at all. But basically in 2014, my dad died, and 2 months after, I went to an audition, as actors do, and so I was doing what the part I was going for, and I literally just behind the auditioner, I literally saw my dad standing right behind them. I was like, this is really, really weird, but I'm just gonna keep going.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but if I saw anyone that died and then they came back with that, I'd be like, hello, my baby, hello, my honey, hello, my future bride. Like, I'd fucking scream. I wouldn't be able to do that. I fucking fair play to you. Because I wouldn't be able to hold that in. Like, I'd be doing a sing-along musical, whatever, and I'd just panic. And when that happened, what was literally going through your head? What was going through your head when that happened? I want to know. I
I
need to
was
know.
like, what the fuck is going on
You
right
probably
now?
thought that someone slipped drugs into your fucking whatever food or something. You were like, am I over right now or something? What's happening to me?
Jesus. I mean, literally, Bobby calls me Alice from Alice in Wonderland, and I honestly think I was on that day. Like, someone gave me acid or something.
Acid in Wonderland. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, actually, that's the real story.
Yeah, but that's like, because some people go, no, I don't. But then we start talking about paranormal. Do you believe in? They go, well, yeah, I believe in it, but I don't. But the fact that you had a story for it, it's great when people. This is only new. This is like the fifth, sixth time or something, fifth time that I'm asking this. But this is going to be a segment at the end of every podcast I do.
Mm-hmm.
So from 5 episodes ago, I'm going to ask this, and if people do, they tell their story. And that was a good story. I like that. And when after that happened, when you went home, were you terrified? Were you scared that you might see him again, or was it kind of like, no, it's okay? I don't mind, like, because obviously it was your dad. Like, I don't think you'd be afraid of your dad. Well, to a certain extent, if you know that they've passed on, so you know.
I think it was just more like, what the bloody hell was that? Because you're before then you did not believe in such thing, and then this other like spirit. Like, I definitely believe in spirits. Like,
Yeah.
even though I don't believe in the afterlife, or I don't believe in wherever you go after
Like,
you die. But
you don't believe that there's a heaven or hell, like, is it? That you
I mean,
go.
that's just me. I don't
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
no, no.
believe.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah,
But I definitely, after that, I definitely believe in spirits. Like, once you die, but your spirit goes somewhere else.
yeah, yeah. So they can come. Was that so? That was kind of a nice thing then. Like, so for your audition or your show, that you could think of it as he came back and he watched it. He came back
Mm,
and watched it. But that's a nice kind of thing. And like, for all you know, that like he might not show himself to you, but he could be always there when you're doing shows or you're doing acting or you're going through college. You know,
yeah,
you can always do, like, you know. And yeah, that's like great. Like, I never seen anything like that. When I think I hear stuff like this, I'm like, no, it's just me and my own mind doing it. But I have an auntie, and she does she can talk to the dead, basically, and she can tell you what's gonna happen. And I asked her about me and everything. Now, this is an auntie that I haven't talked to in years. Like, she knows me as a kid. She doesn't know me through my teenage years, whatever. And Nicola was kind of saying that, well, a lot of them can look up your Facebook and a lot of them can do stuff. But she told me stuff that I never told anybody before. Not even my mom, my dad, nothing. And she was able
really,
to tell me. Yeah, and she was able to tell me. She
that's
was
so
able to tell
weird.
me. Yeah, she was able to tell me. And I was like, what the fuck? That's scary. I'm thinking of having her on the podcast and kind of talking, but because it's real interesting to have someone like that on. But for you, would you like to go to a psychic, or do you believe in that?
Um, I mean, I kind of already went to a palm reader. Like, it's kind of, when it comes to like tarot readers, or palm readers or psychic or whatever, it's most of them are fake artists and
Yeah,
con
yeah.
artists. So I'm very like, I don't know.
You're a skeptic
But
about it,
when
like.
I went to America, when was in San Diego, I said, "Oh, come here, I'll just have a go." And so this woman did my palm, and like, um, and most of the stuff that she said actually came true.
Oh, like, can you give any examples?
Well, the ex-boyfriend I
Yes.
had,
Okay.
she said that's not going to work, and you'll probably be broken up in about a month, and that happened.
It happened in the month. Oh God. Yeah. Jesus. Oh God. Well, there you go. She wasn't wrong. She wasn't wrong.
And you'll go somewhere great. And I went to Edinburgh, so
Yeah. Well, oh shit, actually, yeah. Because usually if they say you're going to go somewhere great, it's like, yeah, well, yeah, dickhead, I have a holiday booked. But the fact that you went, I'm going to go to Edinburgh, that's actually, all right, yeah, that's good. I'm trying to get Nicola to believe in them, because I do believe in all that kind of stuff. And you're right when they say that most of them are con artists. A lot of them are. There's a lot of these people now emerging from Facebook saying that they can speak to the dead and they can talk. And a lot of them, they're bollocks. But
I know.
there's this girl, right? There's this girl, and her name is Mary Stokes, or MJ Stokes. Yeah, Mary Stokes. And she helped the FBI with bodies. So they'd have her in, and she'd be able to tell them where the bodies are buried. And when they went to them places to find out, they were there. I was like, did she kill them or what? But she said, this what happened, that's what happened. This girl has this. She was able to describe, what was missing from the mouth, what happened to her and stuff, not even before, not even seeing her. And it was right, it was true. And she does this thing, she does this live show, and not everybody will get a reading. So she'll sit there and she'll be like, right, everybody stop. Right. Which one of you want me to say something first? And it's like supposed to be someone there. And they went straight out to my dad. My dad was the first person. She went over and looked at him, and she walked over and she said stuff to him, and she was able to say stuff that he would only know. Like he never told anybody before, not even my ma. And she was able to whisper in his ear and tell him stuff. And my dad was like, "Oh shit!" And she turned around to me ma and said, she turned around to me ma and she goes, "Don't do it. Don't cheat on him." And I'm like, "Ma," and my ma's like, "I would never do that." Like, but I was like, "What?" And she goes, "Don't. When the time comes, don't." And I'm like, "What? What?" I think my ma be all right for me talking about this because my ma's not like that. Like, but it's weird. Yeah, it was weird. But for the likes of all that, I do like to believe that I call this what we're in now. I like to call this the waiting room. And we're literally, it's like the simulation. We're in a waiting room, and when it's our time, we all have a personal ticket on us, right? It's in fucking embedded. It's embedded in us, and we have a ticket. And when our ticket is called, we have to go. And when we go, we're going to the real place. But imagine we woke up. Imagine we woke up, right? You died and you wake up, and there's like a load of aliens and they're all fat, and like you're on a table, and they're like, and you're like, what the fuck? And then you look at yourself, but you're like, and then you look at yourself, and you're like, and then all it was is that you're actually an alien from a different unit, like a different dimension, and all it is, the aliens decided on how to actually go into a different dimension through a simulator, and you live like it only lasts about 5 minutes in alien world, but here it lasts your lifetime, and you know what it's like to be a human. Imagine that.
Are you watching too much Futurama?
I don't know. I haven't seen that in years. But yeah, imagine that. It's crazy. There's so many things we can talk about, like about that. There's so many things. But I'd like to get me and you and James on a podcast soon. Um, and we talk about the universe and we talk about all these conspiracy theories of what you think. Because I think that'd be really interesting. I think the three of us would be good. And we did want to do one in the studio before all of this happened. Then we wanted the three of us to do it. But as I was saying to other people and other guests, I think I'm going to be doing this from now on. I don't think I'm going to get a studio unless I start getting paid off YouTube, because you need 1,000 subscribers and you need 4,000 hours watch time. On my YouTube, on my Tonto channel, I have 1,000 subscribers. I have over 1,000 subscribers, and on my watch hours, I have 1,200 or something. So I need another 3,000 to start getting paid from YouTube. But with this channel, it's going to be difficult. But as I was saying to Bobby, he interviewed me this morning, and I'm pretty sure he's going to ask you, or he already asked you, right? But he is really good at interviewing. He got me to talk from the time where I started off and why I wanted to make films and all, to me sitting in a room being depressed. Like, he got me so many different mood swings and so. And we were saying that. Remember, we were saying that on the FaceTime earlier on. When me and you and your girlfriend were all chatting along, and yeah, he's really good. So he will ask you, do you mind if I dig deep? Do you mind if I go in? And I said, yeah, I don't mind, just talk about anything you want. And he went in deep. So that podcast, for the people that are watching now, when that's out, I'm going to share it on my channel, everything, because that was a good one. That was a good interview. And he didn't even have any notes prepared, because he did for the other people, but he didn't for me. And I was like, right. So I can't wait to go back on. But for the likes of yourself, Rebecca, I'm saying this now. You know a lot of people, yeah? I imagine so, right? I'd say for the time, even during quarantine, even do like this and get people on, do your own little podcast. Like Jane started his own podcast, but it's up to yourself at the end of the day, because you might look at it and go, well, for my channel, I don't really want to do podcasts on my channel. I like this kind of style. Do you get me? But I'm just saying, like, it's just something to consider. You could do it, and get a lot.
I definitely have considered it, and I definitely want to do it. It's just more like, because the software that I use is iMovie, and you can't really do more than 14 or 15 minutes.
Oh, Jesus.
So it's kind of, I have to wait until I get a better software that I can edit, then because I would love to do a podcast. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many people that I would love to have on my channel, especially now because as one of our mutuals is Greg Young, and because he also, just going back to my series, because a few people have come to me about my series and said that like they see a few things in them as I do in me, because
Yes.
every single person who is on the autistic spectrum is completely different, but
Yeah.
you still have like some similar traits. But yeah, so Greg Young has come to me and he said this, and like I've even wanted him to come on my channel and like talk about his experience as well, because it would be nice to talk about a female and a male, because
Yeah.
it's completely different.
Yeah. I think that'd be a good idea. Yeah.
So I mean, hopefully we'll be able to, but
Yeah.
it's kind of hard at the
Well, come
moment.
here. At the end of the day, right? This is just thrown out to you. You know that I waited 4 years. I've done YouTube 4 years. I waited 4 years to get everything I needed, literally everything. And it took me 4 years. So it does take time, especially when I'm on social welfare and the likes of that. If you do want to do podcasts, if you do want to do it, just go on to Zoom, record on your phone. It'll save to your phone. Send them to me through WeTransfer. So I'll edit them. I'll send them back to you, and you can upload it. Do you get me? If you want, even if you wanted to do one podcast, and that's the podcast you want to do with Greg, I'll even edit that one podcast for you, and I'll show you to, because we done the banners there earlier, and you were like, "This is good, but I'd rather this and that," and I was like, "Right, Grant, she's being honest," because usually people are like, "Oh yeah, thanks, I really like it," but then they don't use it, or they don't. I'd rather someone fucking be honest. Do you get me? So yeah, even if you want to, even yeah, I know that. That's good. But even if you want to try that yourself, and I'll edit it for you, and I'll I'll send it to you, and you can watch it before you upload it. And if you turn around and say it's just not what I'm looking for, I'll go, right, fair enough, it's okay, at least we tried. To get me?
Yeah.
I'd like to watch that episode between that, because as we said earlier about your series for autism awareness month, I'm interested for that. So before we go, Rebecca, is there anything you'd like to plug, please?
Yeah. So I mean, check out my YouTube channel, Sassy Rebecca, especially because I'm doing this series, and I think if you want to be more informed on this topic, which I think you should, then definitely go check it out. And also just keep an eye out, because I will be doing like different sketches or films or whatever coming up very soon. So just keep an eye out.
Yeah, and I'll tag your Instagram and stuff like that as well in the description if anyone wants to go follow Rebecca and keep up on what she's doing, because she might put up questions, Q&As that she wants answered. She might put them up on, there might be a poll up on our story that you can go along and help her out, because I think it's good when you have a following behind you. You know you're doing the right thing. And I do say, I was saying to James as well, that James has a following behind him. Even though it's a smaller following, he still has people that would watch it. And I think the likes of you as well, you do have a small that following as well, and that all that can do is, if you're very consistent and you keep doing what you're doing, it'll just grow and grow and grow. So guys, that is it for this episode. Rebecca, thanks for coming on. Finally, video to video. Yeah, guys, so all the links down in the description below, please. And guys, remember, it's not the best podcast, it's not the worst podcast, it's just
Right podcast.
perfect. Guys, thanks for watching, and I'll chat to you next time. Bye.
Bye.